Ever heard the one about jaguars being the largest cat in the world? Hold on to your catnip, folks, because we're about to debunk this tall tale. Now don't get me wrong, jaguars are quite the hefty felines, but they're not exactly the living room sofa of the cat world. Imagine for a moment, your average jaguar lounging around. It's not exactly the size of your fridge now, is it? It's more akin to the size of, let's say, a particularly large microwave. And compared to other animals, well, let's just say that the average adult male jaguar is about as heavy as 2 full-grown Labrador retrievers. That's right, 2. But the largest cat, that title actually goes to the Siberian tiger, which can outweigh a jaguar by a whopping 200 pounds. So no, your house cat isn't just a mini jaguar, and yes, you should probably stop trying to feed it steak. Now how about the idea that jaguars are loners? Perhaps it's time to rethink that one. Often we picture jaguars as solitary creatures prowling the jungles alone with only the occasional company of a tasty meal. But here's the twist. Jaguars are not the lonely cat outcasts we've painted them to be. In fact, they have complex social structures and interactions that would put any soap opera to shame. Imagine this. A jaguar named Jack, not just hunting for his dinner, but also planning a surprise birthday party for his best buddy, Jill. He's got to make sure the fish is fresh, the decorations are on point, and oh, don't forget, he needs to find the perfect gift. It's a wild jungle out there. But it's not just about survival. It's also about friendships, alliances, and yes, even the occasional jungle gossip. So next time you see a jaguar, remember, they might just be on their way to a dinner party. Ever thought jaguars couldn't swim? Well, think again. Let's debunk yet another myth about these fascinating creatures. Many people believe that, like most cats, jaguars avoid water and can't swim, but in reality it's quite the opposite. Jaguars are incredibly adept swimmers. In fact, they often live near water and use it as a means to hunt and cool down in the heat of their tropical habitats. Jaguars are not just casual waders either. They're capable of swimming long distances and even pursue prey into the water. Their powerful limbs allow them to move swiftly, and their compact bodies enable them to stay buoyant. Just picture this. A majestic jaguar, effortlessly gliding through the water, its eyes fixed on its prey. It's a sight that contradicts our common perception of feline behavior, and yet, it's a part of the jaguar's daily life. So if you thought you could escape a jaguar by jumping into a river, think again. They might just beat you at your own game. So, what have we learned today about our misunderstood friend, the jaguar? Well, first off, let's take a moment to chuckle at the idea that jaguars are the biggest cats in the wild. Sure, they're big and beefy, but they're not quite the heavyweight champions. That title goes to their cousin, the tiger. Jaguars are more like the middleweights of the cat world, agile and muscular, but not quite as large as some might think. Then there's the myth that jaguars are loners, that they prefer to slink around the jungle all by themselves. Well, while it's true that they're not exactly party animals, they're not antisocial either. They have been known to share territory with other jaguars, and young cubs often stick around with mom for up to 2 years. So, they might not be throwing wild jungle parties, but they're not complete recluses either. And let's not forget the most hilarious of all the myths we've busted today: jaguars being afraid of water. If anything, jaguars are more like the surfer dudes of the cat world. They're excellent swimmers, they love to fish, and they're not afraid to get their paws wet. So if you ever hear someone saying jaguars can't stand water, you can confidently laugh it off. But what about the real personality of the jaguar? Well, they're adaptable, intelligent, and skilled hunters. They're the masters of their environment, able to climb trees, swim rivers, and stealthily stalk their prey. They're resilient, surviving in a variety of habitats from rainforests to grasslands. And yes, they can be solitary, but they're also nurturing mothers and occasionally cooperative neighbors. So to wrap things up, let's all take a moment to appreciate the jaguar for what it truly is: an amazing, resilient, and often misunderstood creature that's full of surprises. So there you have it, folks. Jaguars, they're not the biggest, they're not loners, and they certainly aren't afraid of a little water. Next time you hear a tall tale about a jaguar, remember to take it with a grain of catnip.